is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Pastrana and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Right off the top, police are searching for a shooter after 3 people were gunned down at a party in Lauderhill. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten has the latest.
So here's the latest. In all, 3 people were shot at what was supposed to be a fun holiday weekend party. At this point, we understand that all of them are expected to be okay. Now, this happened in a parking lot set up for a party billed as Bikini Day Soiree just after midnight. This is right across the street from the Lauderhill Mall. This morning on the scene, we saw 2 bullet casings that were left behind. We spoke to a woman who was here who shared video. She said that she heard gunshots and then ran for the exit. She said it was very chaotic.
We just seen everybody running. We were so confused, and then we heard the shots. Everybody took out throughout this side gate here, and it was just crazy. They were trampling people.
On the way out, one of the victims who was shot asked them for help.
Where? In my head. No. When I get shot. Yes, you did. Oh my God, come here. Come here.
We spoke to a woman off camera who said she's a relative of that shooting victim. She said she saw him in the hospital and that he's okay. Police say another person was shot in the head and a woman shot in the shoulder. All of them are listed as stable at the hospital. Police are still looking for the person who pulled the trigger. We'll have more coming up at 5. In Lauderhill, Ted Scouten, CBS News Miami.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside, it's a gorgeous Labor Day, just a few clouds, but the main thing we're enjoying is the lower humidity. Next weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler lets us know when we'll get that heat once again. Cindy?
And you know eventually it is going to come back, so enjoy the good stuff while we have it. Right across South Florida, we've got that ocean breeze coming in today, so winds a little bit on the gusty side, up to 20 miles per hour, but yes, the way it feels, the way the air is, that drier air really is good. We're going to stick with this for all the way through Friday, and then a little bit higher humidity with a chance for showers this weekend. Seasonal temperatures, highs in the lower 90s. We should be around 90 degrees, maybe 1 or 2 degrees above that. And yes, that easterly flow, that's going to stick with us. So maybe a shower here and there. They're going to be passing showers. There's no frontal systems coming in this week. Everything looks really nice. So current temperature now, look at this. 87 degrees. Is that nice or what? But when you add that lower humidity to it, it feels like 92 degrees. But keep in mind, at this time of the year, we can have sky-high humidity. We usually have thunderstorms in the afternoon, so this is quite unusual with this pattern that's going on right now. So temperature-wise and weather-wise, a couple of showers, maybe a little shower here and there with that easterly flow. A better chance you might find a shower here around Key West, maybe over to Marathon. There's a little bit of moisture sitting down here with a stalled frontal system over the Florida Straits, so that's sending some moisture off to the northwest. So that's really the only area that has a better chance to pick up some showers. And those winds today, again, a little gusty out of the east, up to 20 mile per hour gusts this afternoon. Those winds will be dying down this evening, and what a beautiful Labor Day evening you are going to have. If you've got plans to go out to dinner, make sure you enjoy it, because this is really some special stuff. So our computer modeling, our guidance, wants to paint on some showers by tomorrow afternoon, mainly over Monroe County, western Miami-Dade. There could be a shower there, and again down at the Keys, that's a possibility. Even into Wednesday, we still have the winds out of the east. 10, maybe 15 miles per hour, spotty showers possible. Thursday again, same type of thing. High pressure sitting out here in the Atlantic. That's sending us this nice easterly flow. That high will scoot across by this weekend, and that's going to bring in a more of a southeasterly flow, so the moisture will start creeping back across the area by the weekend. But I don't think we're really going to see a tick upward as far as our chance for showers until we get into Sunday. So only about a 20% chance. This is extremely low for this time of the year. Let's go out to the tropics, where we've got a lot here to watch. A couple of systems to the south here. There are 4 at this point, but it's really this one expected to become Lee possibly tomorrow. That's the one we're going to be watching. The modeling is taking it off to the northwest. At this point, nothing to worry about here across South Florida. So here's your forecast. Temperatures in the lower 90s. Very low chance for any rain at all.
Cindy, thank you. Now to a story you'll only see on CBS News Miami. A hit-and-run victim sharing his story for the first time after being released from the hospital. He spoke exclusively with CBS News Miami and says he believes he tracked down the car that hit him. 23-year-old Juan Salazar says he was walking down the street on the 2900 block of 208th Terrace in Miami Gardens the night of August 13th when a man slammed into him and then took off.
All I remember after, I was still talking on the phone, and then when I open my eyes again, I'm on the floor, and I feel like a big pain in my whole body.
Salazar broke several ribs, punctured his lung and liver. He says he found surveillance video of the crash and even located the car he says hit him. But he says no arrests have been made. We reached out to Miami Gardens police when this incident first happened and again this weekend and have not yet heard back. A math teacher at Doral Academy K-8 Charter is one of the victims in a triple shooting in Southwest Miami-Dade. We brought you the story as breaking news Friday. Investigators have now identified the woman as Maria Cruz de la Cruz. Police responded Friday afternoon to reports of a shooting off Southwest 165th Terrace. When police got to the scene, they found a man dead inside the home from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They also found Cruz and another man who had been shot. They were both taken to Jackson South Medical Center. Police have not yet named the shooter. When we come back, thousands of people are still trapped in the Nevada desert after storms turned the site of the Burning Man Festival into a mucky mess. This afternoon, we're learning what's next for festival goers. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Tens of thousands of attendees at this year's Burning Man Festival are hoping to get out later today after being trapped in Nevada's remote Black Rock Desert because of the weather. More than a half-inch of rain fell on Friday, turning the site into a muddy mess, which limited access to food and water. CBS News Miami's Lise Preston reports from the Reno Tahoe International Airport, where many festival goers would like to get a flight out.
With plastic bags wrapped around their shoes, or without any shoes at all. Tens of thousands of revelers attending the annual Burning Man Festival in the Nevada desert have been trudging through ankle-deep mud in search of relief. After downpours flooded the region over the weekend, leaving porta potties unusable and limiting access to food and water.
We are not allowed out of the playa. The gates are locked.
The some 70,000 attendees were advised to shelter in place and ration supplies.
But you can see the clouds behind me. It's still raining.
Sherilyn Lee is taking refuge in her RV. She showed us her camp in the surrounding area.
For some camps, yes, food, water, ice would be a luxury.
Satellite images show just how massive the annual Counterculture Festival is. Thousands of artists, activists, and others attend every year. The Burning Man ethos involves taking everything with you and leaving no trace. DJ Diplo and comedian Chris Rock shared on social media that they walked several miles in the mud before being rescued in a pickup truck.
Okay, this is our attempt to flee.
Many others also made the muddy trek toward the main road, including first-time so-called burner Manny Kess from New York, who decided to leave early.
So after going back and forth for a couple of hours, I'm like, listen, I'm just going to go.
Kess says despite the setbacks, spirits remain high as Burning Man comes to a close.
People are just trying to say, hey, be careful, conserve, and we will get through this together.
Officials have postponed the festival's main ceremony from last night to tonight, the traditional burning of the wooden figure known as the Man. Elise Preston, CBS News, Reno, Nevada.
And officials have confirmed one death at Burning Man after the wave of downpours, but the cause is still under investigation. And some sad news to report out of the music world this afternoon. Former Smash Mouth lead singer Steve Harwell has died. The artist, whose band is known for hits including All Star, which appeared in the Shrek movie, and Walkin' on the Sun, had been in hospice care for just a few days before he passed from liver failure. Harwell retired from music back in 2021 to focus on his physical and mental health. He was just 56 years old. Labor Day marks the unofficial end of summer, but that doesn't mean you should put the sunscreen away, especially here in South Florida. While there are so many to choose from, there's a push to change the products because they may not be as effective as the sun protection available in other countries. CBS News Miami's Haley Ott explains.
Before she heads out to walk her dog, Caroline says she always puts on sunscreen.
I've had skin cancer run in my family, so it's just something that's like high priority.
Sunscreen protects against skin cancer as well as skin aging. But a 2017 study from Memorial Sloan Kettering found around half of products in the U.S. offered less protection from harmful UV rays than versions from Europe. Dermatologist Dr. Anthony Rossi says that's because fewer active ingredients are approved in the U.S.
There are more widely available chemical filters that actually have a broader range of protection, both against the UVA and UVB.
It's been more than 2 decades since a new chemical UV filter for sunscreen was approved in the U.S. Sunscreen here is regulated as a drug, which means potential new ingredients undergo extensive safety and efficacy testing. Sunscreen in other parts of the world is regulated as a cosmetic, a much simpler process.
I would definitely like to see that those ingredients that are available in the European Union and in Asia to be tested here and be able to be used in our formulations here.
In New York, some lawmakers and advocates are calling for reform to make approving new sunscreen ingredients easier.
I think that campaign is really bringing awareness, photo protection and protection against skin cancer, but also the need for a faster approval process.
In the meantime, Dr. Rossi says U.S. broad-spectrum sunscreens still offer great protection, so the best way to stay safe in the sun is to keep reapplying. Haley Ott, CBS News, New York.
The authors of the 2017 study acknowledged that a limitation of their study is that it only evaluated a small number of sunscreen products. And today is Labor Day, a holiday that celebrates workers. And every 4 years, it's also an unofficial kickoff to the presidential campaign. CBS News Miami Skylar Henry has the latest from the White House.
Arriving in Philadelphia for a Labor Day event, President Biden says he's not worried auto workers will go on strike. The president is spending this Labor Day the same way he spends most, surrounded by union workers. While this appearance at the AFL-CIO annual Tri-State Labor event is an official White House stop, President Biden has been able to count on strong union support during his campaigns.
The only thing that comes today is a little bit of wisdom. I've been doing this longer than anybody, and guess what? I'm going to continue to do it with your help.
Labor Day is traditionally the unofficial kickoff to presidential campaigns. Republican presidential hopefuls are taking advantage of the holiday by spending time with voters.
I think the way we're going to succeed is we can't just criticize the so-called radical Biden agenda. Of course, there's everything in the world wrong with it. But that's not enough. That's why I think that's actually why we didn't succeed in 2022.
Vivek Ramaswamy is spending the day campaigning in New Hampshire.
I'm out shopping candidates, but I just intrigued with Vivek.
Former Vice President Mike Pence is also in New Hampshire with a few events on the campaign trail. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
And the Iowa caucuses are just 133 days away. The power of CBS News Miami and the CBS News Miami stream are always at your fingertips. We are on Pluto TV and it's free, or you can find us on your favorite streaming device with the CBS News app. Then click on CBS News Miami. And that's CBS News Miami's Quickcast. I'm Lauren Pastrana. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS Miami.